Greetings in the mighty name of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Jah Rastafari. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy nice sight, O Jah. Greetings, ones and ones. Yes, give thanks for this time and give thanks for life and this moment. Now, I and I forever and always will be ever speaking Rastafari. Now, I and I make a previous video, a word sound in relation to the Trinity. Now, this is a follow-up and taking it a little bit further in expressing our Rastafari view and Rastafari practicality in relation to the Trinity. Now, them teach us about the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. And the ghost is a spirit, and a spirit is something we can't see. Now, that's one aspect. Then them tell about Father and Son, that are two male energy. So, Rastafari express man, woman, and child in reality, practicality. Now, two men can't make or reproduce life. So therefore, you need a woman, yet them ghost the woman. This are the distortion of them want I and I for continue reproducing to I and I children. Rastafari is not about a belief system. Rastafari is a knowing practicality, a knowing reality. And this is what I and I articulate when I and I speak Rastafari. Now, we're going to go a little bit more in depth. So, because I and I ancestors for millenniums, being the first people govern the planet Earth, being the first trials and error, you gather knowledge, accumulative knowledge, substantive knowledge, out of trials and error. So, you come and you express from a knowing. Now, nature is all within where I consider to be life, connection and life, and I and I relation to life. Now, millenniums, like I say, I and I ancestors, overs, observations, and accumulate knowledge and pass it on. Now, you can't pass on your knowledge without having children or the child. So the child is the accumulative substantive vessel of all of that knowledge. So therefore, when Rastafari say man, woman, and child are red, gold, and green, it's a trinity. Now, when the man and the woman come together and bring forth the child, all that is within both of them infusing of the child. And therefore, the child now is that vessel that will continue the legacy or continuation of that life cycle from the beginning of time until present. That course through your DNA. Sights? So no, that's why when Rastafari talk about man, woman, and child and a debunk the belief system or where them people are infusing the I and I mind for trick I and I, for keep I and I disconnected. Because that's what them do, you know. Them disconnect you from your agency, from yourself, and put you out there. So now, let me show you the agency of this triunity or the Trinity where I and I as ancestors left, and them take it and distort it. Now, millenniums of years, I and I come to the understanding and nature and the relationship, and I and I establish the principle of a God and a goddess. Now, them and those who are Christian, they have Christian origins mindset, are the Abrahamic Judeo-Christian mindset, I'm going to say blasphemy. But bear in mind and overs what I try to show come across. Because them and those would always criticize and intellectualize. And like I say, those who Rastafari, know Rastafari, them will get it. And also be empowered to express Rastafari when I speak Rastafari. Because I recognize and establish how the King re-established the Trinity. And how the King re-established the Trinity. Coronation, November 1930, November 2nd, 1930. The King get coronated, put on the triple crown. Right alongside him, Empress Menen, Crown Prince Asfa Wasson, man, woman and child, in the same time frame. When them crown the king, the Empress get crowned and the Crown Prince get crowned. And that is how Rastafari identify. Say Emperor Haile Selassie, His Majesty Rastafari, re-establish. So this is a known reality. Now, the Asians of Asians establish, they manifest the sun as the male principle and the earth as the female principle. And when the earth, the sun and the earth come together, meaning when the rays of the sun hit the earth, it brings forth that life. So this is why the elders them signify the sun as a dominant force representing that infinite. Now, the sun is not the accumulative of the knowledge, just a symbolic form. You see it? So this is why I and I manifest the Trinity. And the sun and the earth go together. The sun representing the male principle and the earth representing the female principle. And between both of them, everything that's bring forth between the both is life. So life continues. And without the earth or without the sun, there is no life. Without the man, without the woman, there is no life, there is no child, there is no continuation. So this is the Trinity. Life. The continuation of life. So, like I said, Rastafari and Depana spookism. It's a known reality. It's a practical. And I have to reconstruct I mindset. Realigning I self to agency. So I can fully get back into the knowledge of self for move forward and infusing right knowledge in our pitney, the child. So therefore they can continue. Because the foundation have to set. And the foundation was disrupted. And for the diaspora, it disrupt during, some people call it the middle passage, but I call it the diabolical enterprise, transatlantic slave trade. Because I came here as business. This is why they bring I on this side. But the disruption started thousands of years ago. And I know, and another thing, I need for all of us this reality and reconstruct I thinking. And this is what Rastafari is about. And knowing reality. No belief. Is knowing thyself. Knowing thyself. And to thyself be true. Yeah, man. So that I manifest when I speak Rastafari. And I forevermore articulate Rastafari. You have to Rastafari. You have a soldier. S-O-double-J. Before you can become a S-O-U-L, soldier of Jah. And then it becomes I and I soul stitch. That means you eat, breathe, sleep, live Rastafari. Rastafari's I and I identity. Rastafari's I and I identity. Realigning I and I self to anciency, which is the Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. Jah Rastafari I and I divine blackness. I and I declare the Ankh Nation continent, where them call it Africa or Ethiopia, as I and I divine space. It is I and I birthright. There's I and I not going to fall into the narratives of disconnecting I and I self from that which is I and I. I and I have to reclaim. So this is Rastafari. And when I and I you hear I and I mention and I big up the Empress, you know what I mean? It is the unification of the male and female reproductive that bring forth the child. Man, woman and child, the living Trinity. No spookism. But no Father, Son and Holy Ghost crap. Two man can't bring no pitney. Cause that them a teach a father and son. And them ghost the woman. Hide the woman out of the thing. And them for them psychology will ever belittle the woman. Always undermine the woman. While I and I ancient order is we create the woman becomes a goddess. That's how we highlight the woman. The woman is a goddess. I and I are God. Our children as the Most High. You see it? It's not the spookism, in a belief system disconnected from who you are. And again, I mentioned in our previous sound that without man, there is no God. And without God, there is no man. So for them teachings and them religious principles is to disconnect you. To hide your true potential, because when you don't know, them can control you. And this is the objective. Them instill fear of death. Rastafari in a death. A life, we say. Life forevermore. Life continuance. Man, woman and child continue, and the child continue the legacy. So I and I have to infuse I and I reality into the child, and the child continue. This is how cultures manifest. And out of your culture is your cumulative knowledge of how your people are living, your tradition. And you pass it on to the youth, them for continue. And as the youth, them evolve, knowledge increase. And the youth, them continue. Always continue the life cycle. It's not a spookism. It's a living reality. From ancient, I and I ancients deal with a living reality, life. I and I not focus death. Because in reality, there is no such thing as death. It's only different transitions. Everything complete the cycle we call life. Everything contribute to nature. Everything, you are all one with nature. That's why Rastafari represent that oneness. These people, them and those who came the enemies and distort you and try to trick knowledge, use trick knowledge upon you for disconnect you from your reality. So now you look up in the sky, and while they might take everything from you. The Trinity is life. Man, woman, child. 3, 1. Continuation, the pitney. As I and as Jamaican, I said the pitney. And life we are defend. Rastafari not depend again. I keep repeating it. It's no spookism. Rastafari is a practical reality. And these are the sounds forevermore. I and I, when I and I speak Rastafari, This is what I and I manifest, because we have to realign and reconnect and reconstruct because of the disconnection. They disrupted the diabolical enterprise called the transatlantic slave. Disrupt I and I continuity. Them separate and divide we. This is why now them come up and I try play with I and I with them gender bias. I and I not depend that. I and I is from an ancient order. God and goddess and the child. This is what I and I established from ancient time. Until this present time, a Rastafari will ever speak to the practicality of life. Man, woman, and child. And his knowledge that continue. Because it's out of knowledge. You build your tradition and your customs. And your spirituality, where them call it religion. It is out of a knowing observation from millenniums, the ancestors. And this is where I and I know, because of the disruption and the disconnection, I have to reconnect and realign to I and I agency and declare Jah Rastafari. Jah Rastafari. It is I, and none can take it. And the sooner we embrace this reality and this consciousness of Rastafari, which is you, your divine self, you becoming one with your divine, no disconnection, the sooner we get back on track as a survival time. We are living in the time of survival. Once we were people, we don't have to worry about anything but survival, because we continue reproduce. But now a whole heap of disconnection and disruption and then biological germ warfare play with the genetics. So don't take all what you see going around here, take it light. It is a design to destroy you. I and I as Ankh Nation family. And I and I have to get into that reality and start take precautionary measures to protect I and I. And it starts with man, woman, and child, the Trinity. We have to re-establish back the Trinity. As I and I father did November 2nd, 1930. It go over enough on no head and on re-overs with the king. I re-establish it. I and I speak it and I point it out. This was what the king did. And the king always teaches knowledge. He implores knowledge, education. That's why he was the minister of education. And when him come to Jamaica, he give us school. Because he want us to have knowledge. He don't want us to be educated, because them educate us to continue serve them system. Knowledge yourself. Rastafari is a knowing reality. Knowledge of thyself. Know thyself. So when you hear I and I hear the king, not for ones and ones out there and them and those out there like them want to take mockery. It's not a joke. When we hear the king, it's I and I giving reverence and acknowledgement to I and I divine. And the king is the face of that divine reality, that black consciousness, that black reality. Black power too. Because when you and your God look alike, you are powerful. And if God is everything and the all is in you. But you have to have the knowledge. Reconnect back yourself. To yourself. Oneness. One accord. One God, one aim, one destiny. Rastafari, survival, resistance. Resist them technology. Because this is how them work and trickery. And divide we up. And oneness, one Rastafari. That's it. Know thyself. That is what Rastafari is about. And knowing reality. No spookism. Practical reality. That is Rastafari. A survival tribe. Because we have to survive. Don't make them trick you with the brotherhood and about them one love. Them not deal with love. A survival them a deal with. This is why them do what they do, because they know who you are. You think them don't know? And them afraid of you. Naturally, your natural biological existence make them fear you. Because they know you can absorb them. So this is why them put out them classes and them social structure to prevent. Because, and even if you look on right now, in our present time, the intermixing are going so fast and rampant that them have to take measures. Because in a minute, they are going to diminish just by natural progression, natural biology. You see it? They know this. So that's why them in a them lab and work out of them for work out to destroy you. And if you don't get on top of your survival game, you will become. Because if you think so, we are a minority. We are only a minority because of the mind program. That is why we think so we are the minority and think about it, the great continent. But them tell us about poor. And yet them live in it. The whole of them almost a chin now in it. And you want to disconnect yourself from your known reality, your lifeline. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject. So make we keep it and return back to the foundation. Man, woman, child, living Trinity. That Rastafari represent. That our Father re-established. Because the family have to come. And once the family is one God, one mindset, one consciousness, then nothing can defeat us. Until I and I get into the oneness I and I self, the obstacles, black skin, and them and those, the milky ones. The milky one is existent because of fear. So them adapt for survival. But survival for what? To continue their destruction. Because when them oppose I and them and those utilize them to disrupt I, unification is to their own detriment. But they just can't see it because they're busy and think they might try to survive. But them going to allow them to live and give them privilege to utilize them to continue building their empires because them need them. For them educate them to think that they are a part. You see it? But anyway, again, Rastafari live it and reign in I itinerally. Rastafari is a survival trad. Rastafari is Caribbean African unity. Jah Rastafari without apology. Sealer.